Yeah. Let me just get the live cue. So good morning. We are now live. So welcome to the launch of Productivity Awareness Week. And this year is a very special year for us. As you know, there are a lot of things happening in the world. And so the planning committee came up with the theme, Navigating Through Disruption, Resilience, the Engine of Productivity. And we'll hear a lot more about this. But I invite you to stand while our students from the Bishop Charles Garche Primary School will render the national anthem to us in music. So, attention. Wonderful, wonderful. Don't leave yet, students. Just let them stay here while we get the blessing. So I invite Miss Kimber Evans to bless us.
Let's bow our heads for prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you with hearts of gratitude for the gift of life that you have given unto us. We thank you for bringing us here today for this 2025 Productivity Awareness Week. We thank you for the NCPC and all the institutions that came together to put this week together. Lord, we know that all wisdom and understanding come from you. Therefore, we place this entire week in your hands. Please, Lord, let every discussion, every presentation, every idea shared may be to the glory of your name, as well as the advancement of our beloved St. Lucia. Guide us, Lord. May the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the love of the Father, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit, rest, remain, and abide with us all, now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you. So, thank you, students, to make it come to your seats now. And thank you. May have your seats as well, ladies and gentlemen. But while you do so, could I have a wonderful round of applause for our students? I saw some faces and I was like, some faces look like I wish my child could do that. So I'm Glenn Simon, I'll be your Master of Ceremonies, and we always start on time, and we started exactly at 9:30. It's 9:30 NCPC time. Let me acknowledge the persons in the room while we go through the start of our event. So Honorable Wayne Girard, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Youth Economy. Mr. Francis Fontenelle, PS in the Department of Finance. Mr. Cletus Burton, Executive Director, Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation, CARELEC. Let me acknowledge our chairman, Mr. Nicholas Bernard, and he is the chairman of the NCPC and also the board of directors. Thank you, fellow directors, for being here. Let me acknowledge Mrs. Fiona Hinkson, the budget director, Mrs. Lisa Flora Montoute, the director of the NCPC, Ms. Jacques, the Deputy Director of Finance Administration, if she's not in the room as yet. Ms. Gemma Lafayette, the Director of Research and Policy. I think she's out right now. Mr. Matthew Branford, Accountant General. Let me also acknowledge all our heads of departments who are here. I see our partner as well, Ms. Betty Comby. Let me also acknowledge Mrs. Sherilyn Monroe's project coordinator, Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, a strategic partner with us as well. The staff of the NCPC, the staff of the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, staff and heads of various government departments, specially invited guests. We do not have the ancillary infant school here with us yet, but they'll be here shortly to perform for us. A special thank you to the Bishop Charles Gachet Primary School, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the launch of Productivity Awareness Week 2025. And what a journey it has been to get here. There have been numerous activities that have happened since the last PAW, which dealt with AI, and now we've seen major disruptions. And those disruptions have caused us to be more resilient in order to allow for our country to progress. And so the theme is very apt. But to give us a welcome address officially, I call on Mr. Nicholas Bernard, the chairman of the NCPC, who will tell you all about why the NCPC has probably chosen this topic and what we're doing. Let's welcome him, please.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to adopt the protocols that have already been established. But a very warm welcome to Honorable Wayne Girard and, of course, our Permanent Secretary, Mr. Francis Fontenelle. And, of course, NCPC Secretariat and our council members. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to the official opening of Productivity Awareness Week 2025 under the timely theme, Navigating Through Disruption, Resilience, the Engine of Productivity. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you, very warm welcome, our partners, stakeholders, and members of the public for being here today. A special thank you goes to the NCP board members and the dedicated Secretariat team. Your commitment shaped much of the progress we celebrate this morning. This year's theme speaks directly to our times. We live in a world of constant change. Economic uncertainty, climate pressure, new technologies, and shifting global trade. These challenges remind us daily that resilience is not optional. It is essential. But resilience alone is not enough. It must go hand in hand with productivity, the ability to work smarter, to innovate, and to achieve more with the resources that we have. Together, they allow us to not only withstand disruption, but to thrive through it. That is the mission of the NCPC, to identify the issues affecting St. Lucia's competitiveness, to share knowledge with government, businesses, labor, academia, and the public, and to help shape policies that drive growth and improve the quality of life. In short, we connect research to action. Since our have made a productivity assessment, giving us vital data to guide all our decisions, supporting the launch of the commercial court, making it easier to do business and improve investor confidence, introducing Productivity Week itself, now a cornerstone in building a culture of productivity, and of course playing a role in critical legislative reform, a lot of hard work, including the Security Interest in Movable Property Registry Act of 2023 and the Insolvency Act number 17 of 2024, both designed to improve access to finance and support business continuity. These are not just achievements, they are building blocks in our national journey of resilience and productivity. This week, through panels, workshops, media events, and community outreach, I encourage all of you to get involved. Share your ideas, your questions, your challenges. Let us discuss the real issues. But more importantly, let us work together on the real solutions. Resilience is part of who we are as St. Lucians. We have weathered storms, adapted, and risen stronger each time. Now let us apply that same spirit to building a more competitive and productive nation. In closing, I remind us that disruption will always be part of our reality. But with resilience as our engine and productivity as our compass, St. Lucia can navigate any storm and emerge stronger and richer. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful and inspiring Productivity Awareness Week 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And this chairman is one that is so passionate and pushes the NCPC to its core. And we're very proud of that. And also the board members. This year, we have the St. Lucia Employers Federation partnering, not just as a council member, but also an active part of this year's planning for Productivity Awareness Week, looking at the next activity for today, which is dealing with our road communication network. So I invite now our PS, who is always supporting the NCPC. Anything that we ask for, he is just willing to always support us. And so, Mr. Francis Fontenelle, PS in the Ministry, the Department of Finance, we invite you to give us some remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. However, that notwithstanding, I'd like to recognize the presence of our Minister, Mr. Wayne Girard, also Chairman of the National Productivity and Competitiveness Council, Mr. Nicholas Bernard, other distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and honored participants. It is indeed an honor to welcome you all here today and to provide some brief remarks in recognition of for our Productivity Awareness Week 2025. We come together at a time of both formidable challenges but promising and exciting opportunities, united by our shared commitment to advancing productivity within our respective organizations, businesses, communities, and the country as a whole. This year's theme, Navigating Through Disruption, Resilience, the Engine of Productivity, as Chairman would have said, could not be more appropriate as we face a world grappling with significant challenges and unprecedented opportunities, characterized by rapid technological change, rising environmental concerns like climate change, ongoing geopolitical conflicts, and persistent social issues such as poverty and inequality. It has been remarked that disruption is now a constant in today's environment. The observation has been chronicled that the notion of disruption, which is with its promise to destroy the status quo and then renew it, is the most fashionable idea in global business since the craze of emerging markets over a decade ago. It was Heather Simmons who said, and I quote, "Those who disrupt the industries change consumer behavior, alter economics, and transform lives." Technological breakthroughs, shifting economic conditions, and unforeseen global events have challenged our traditional approach to work and problem solving. Although disruption introduces uncertainty, it also creates opportunities for innovation, learning, and growth. Central to navigating these turbulent times is resilience, which in essence is the capacity to adapt, recover, and persist despite adversity. Resilience extends beyond endurance. It represents a proactive mindset and a strength that drives creativity, agility, and sustained performance. Resilience enables individuals and organizations to be agile and as a result to absorb shocks, to respond with flexibility, and seize new opportunities. In an environment characterized by rapid and unpredictable change, resilience has become the essential engine of productivity. Productivity now encompasses more than traditional measures of output and efficiency. It includes work quality, employee well-being, and an organization's capacity to innovate and remain competitive. Resilience is crucial in balancing these elements. It empowers teams to maintain focused challenges, adopt new technologies, and foster a culture of continuous improvement. Throughout this week, The National Competitiveness and Productivity Unit will host a number of activities geared towards exploring and explaining where we are as a country in this global paradigm shift. The scheduled activities for this week include panel discussions, a research symposium, and a debate, all of which is expected to create networking opportunities and will allow participants to investigate practical applications. Regardless of who you are, what industry you're from, whether it be government, academia, or the workforce, the knowledge acquired during this time will be essential as we work together to create more resilient systems and organizations. Let us also recognize that resilience is not developed in isolation. Resilience is built for collaboration, shared knowledge, and mutual support. This week we come together. I encourage each of you to engage fully with open minds and a willingness to listen, learn, and contribute. I want to express my deepest appreciation to everyone who made this event possible, from the planning committee, the NCPC, guest speakers, and to all of you who will participate with enthusiasm and a commitment to progress. As we navigate through disruption, let resilience guide us so that the country's productivity continues on an upward trajectory and propel us towards a brighter and more adaptable future. In closing, I leave you with this profound statement. If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Thank you, and I wish you a productive and insightful Productivity Awareness Week 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PS. Now you see, this is a productive PS. Realize how he opened up that piece of technology, that bit of innovation there. And I like how you close. If you always did, then you always get. That's the recipe for madness, that you just reversed it. And so we're not going to be mad at NCPC. We're going to innovate and we're going to be resilient. Thank you so much for that. Now, the PS spoke about some of our innovative things, and I see some of our partners there. I see the Deputy PS in the Department of Infrastructure, that she and I had nice conversations about ensuring that one of our activities progress, and that is the activity this afternoon, which is about the road communication network. And I know they have a lot to contribute, especially with the recent Infrastructure 2030, and how we could allow for ourselves to be more innovative, even with the situation we have now with our roads. And it's not about arguing, it's about coming up with solutions. But to tell you more about the activities and what we've planned for this week, I invite our director, Mrs. Lisa Flora-Montoute, and you will see her come up, and she's fashionably dressed because she wants to show that she has arrived at this special time in her life that we could share with a special birthday. So let's welcome her. Let's welcome her as she tells us all about this week.
Good morning, everyone. And please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. In particular, I would like to welcome the Honorable Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Wayne Girard, the Executive Director of CARILEC, Mr. Cletus Burton, the Vice President of the St. Lucia Manufacturers Association, and our current Chairman, Mr. Nicholas Bernard, and our very own Mr. Francis Fontenelle, our PS in the Department of Finance, and to our former Director of NCPC, Mrs. Fiona Hinkson. A very pleasant good morning and warm welcome to all officials, permanent secretaries, deputy PSs, heads of departments, NCPC council members, business persons, invited guests, staff of the NCPC, the Department of Finance, ladies and gentlemen. The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council is elated to be celebrating yet another Productivity Awareness Week under this timely and most appropriate theme, navigating through disruption, resilience, the engine of productivity. This theme reflects the urgent need for St. Lucia to remain agile and forward-focused in the face of persistent global and domestic challenges. International trade tensions, supply chain uncertainties, and geopolitical shifts continue to disrupt small island economies, making resilience not merely a fallback strategy, but a critical competitive advantage. At home, obstacles such as road infrastructure deficiencies, employee friction, and coordination gaps across sectors threaten productivity and competitiveness. Yet, these constraints also create opportunities for innovation, cross-sector collaboration, and a mindset shift that embraces adaptability and shared responsibility. The theme emphasizes that resilience anchored in adaptability, cooperation, and innovation goes beyond survival. It is the driving force that can propel St. Lucia toward a more competitive, dynamic, and productive future. This theme, I believe, is quite apt as it reflects the efforts and dedication of the NCPC in its quest to improve productivity across all sectors by encouraging innovation and proactive actions that will ensure efficiency in the way we conduct our affairs going forward. It is with this focus in mind that we planned this year's activities for the week, not only to highlight St. Lucia's resilience over the years in navigating several disruptions that has affected all sectors of our economy, but also to have discussions, make sound recommendations emanating from focused research areas, highlighting key benefits and their likely impacts on society. The activities planned for this year involves various stakeholders, including schools, youth organizations, public and private sector organizations, and civil society. So today's launch sets the tone for the week with our Creole themed showcasing edutainment pieces from our very young artists of the Ancillary Infant School and the Bishop Charles Gachet Primary Schools. At 2 p.m. today, right here at Financial Administrative Center, the St. Lucia Employers Federation, in collaboration with the Department of Economic Development, will be hosting a panel discussion, Anu Diskiti, featuring the topic, Paving the Way, Road Communication Network Challenges and its Impact on St. Lucia's Productivity. I am sure we can all agree that the traffic backup situation has been nothing but a daily nightmare and has been a major issue affecting productivity in general. When you're stuck or just sitting in traffic accomplishing absolutely nothing but mere frustration, it severely impacts our productivity levels. Not only for you as an employee, but for the employers, the customers, society, and the whole economy in general. So, come listen, take part, add to the discussion, let your voices be heard, see the likely opportunities, and make recommendations that our policymakers may consider in helping to alleviate this frustrating, unintentional disruption in our daily lives. Tomorrow, the 8th of October, at 10 a.m., in collaboration with the Department of Education, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College will be hosting an intellectually charged debate competition focusing on the motion, St. Lucia's long-term development is tied to U.S. hegemonic power, and maintaining those ties should be our primary focus. The debate promises to be an enlightening one that sparks critical discussion on global influence, economic sovereignty, and how international partnerships shape our development priorities. It is an opportunity to see our young thinkers, our future speakers, and our young leaders in action, challenging assumptions and articulating the future that they want for St. Lucia. This event will also be taking place at the Financial Administrative Center. At 2 p.m. later on that same day, the Department of External Affairs, in collaboration with the NCPC, will be hosting and presenting an insightful panel discussion on the topic Redefining St. Lucia's Foreign Policy, Pursuing Greater South-South Cooperation. This discussion promises to be very enlightening as St. Lucia looks to pursue additional avenues for global economic cooperation. The discussion will explore how diversifying our partnerships, particularly with countries of the Global South, can open new avenues for trade, investment, and innovation. After the panel discussion, the Department of External Affairs will also be hosting an exhibition to familiarize attendees with the offerings and the work of the Department of External Affairs and how they serve as a bridge between St. Lucia and the rest of the world. And on Thursday the 9th at 9 a.m., the research department in the Department of Finance will be hosting an exciting research symposium under the theme Global Trade Disruptions and Tariff Impacts, Implications for St. Lucia's Competitiveness and Productivity. This session will provide empirical insights into how international policies are shaping our economic environment, and will highlight potential strategies to strengthen St. Lucia's competitive amid uncertainty. And culminating the week of activities will be an important, timely, and practical panel discussion on the topic Raising the Bar, Reimagining Customer Service for a More Productive Public Sector. Public service delivery is at the cornerstone of national productivity. This discussion will focus on how we can enhance service quality, streamline processes, and ultimately make government more responsive and efficient. This event will be held from 10 a.m. and will be hosted by the Office of the Prime Minister in collaboration with the Department of Public Service. All activities for Productivity Awareness Week will take place on the 5th floor of the Finance Administrative Center and will be covered live or recorded for broadcast on NTN throughout the week. The activities will also be available on our social media handles and St. Lucia NCPC, Facebook, and YouTube. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your participation and to also thank the Productivity Awareness Week 2025 committee members and all agencies who have lent their support and efforts to the hosting of this week's activities. We look forward to your involvement and encourage everyone to participate as we continue to work collectively towards a more productive St. Lucia. We are a resilient people, and we have navigated and continue to navigate through several disruptions over the years. Therefore, let our resilience continue to be our engine towards a more productive and ultimately a more competitive St. Lucia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director, NCPC. And she outlined a number of activities for you. And this week, we're very proud to have discussions that need to be had. And one of the things that we're proud of as well is the continuation of our research symposium, hard-working research team, because it's very difficult for us to be able to say what we want to say without evidence, and they have put the evidence together, and it takes a lot of work to make sure that it is empirical and it is accurate. So make sure every activity you're in for it. One of the things I'm most proud of, and I see the PS in the department, in the Ministry of External Affairs, the DPS in the Ministry of External Affairs here, and this is the first time External Affairs has partnered with the NCPC for Productivity Awareness Week. I'd like to give them a big round of applause. They have gone all out to show what the ministry is all about and how its impact on St. Lucia's productivity is evident. So make sure you're in for that activity as well. Now you see our wonderful students back on stage, because this is a Creole-themed launch, and you see our Creole touches everywhere. And they're going to give you now the presentation of our Creole songs, or it's a surprise? So let's give the round of applause to the Bishop Charles Garche Primary School, who will entertain us for the next few minutes. Oh no, that round of applause was too tame, too tame. Thank you, miss, for your hard work. You want me to guide you down? So when we were thinking of this year's activity, we had theatrical presentations for previous years. We thought, what can we do differently? And nothing speaks louder than having the young children present at those events to show their skill. And when I called the principal, she told me, Glenn, I'm just clearing some new instruments. So these are the brand new instruments playing for us for the first time. So we now move on to our feature address. And we call on Mr. Cletus Burton. He is the Executive Director of the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation, CARELEC. I bet if I said CARELEC and I asked you, what does it mean? We wouldn't get it. I didn't get it until he had to send it to us. So we welcome him because Dr. Burton is somebody who has been in so many different areas, talking about productivity, talking about innovation. And with all of that, he's really understood the whole effort of how you need to be resilient in order to navigate. And we welcome him. We appreciate that he has given us his time. Dr. Burton, welcome him, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. That wasn't everyone. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm hearing the ones at the back. And round of applause again for the choir. Excellent. Quite soothing, the violin. Thank you, teacher, for your excellent work with the kids. And soon we'll have some musical stars, I think, performing on the big stage. Maybe jazz, no less. Okay, thank you, committee, for inviting me to share some thoughts with you. It is an area that is of tremendous concern, interest, I think, to everyone in this room and beyond. And the whole question of productivity reminds me of an academic who was asked to give a reference for a former student. And that student was not the worst, but not the best. It's always challenging when you have to give a recommendation that you can't be enthusiastic about. And I think the rule of thumb is that if you can't give a good recommendation, you shouldn't give one, right? But this teacher wasn't minded to give a bad recommendation. And so knowing that the student in question had some challenges with motivation and performance and productivity, said that she decided she'd keep the recommendation short and concise, and wrote to the employee prospective employee who was seeking the recommendation, just this: you would be lucky if you could get him to work for you. Okay, let that sink in a bit. Okay, got it now? Okay. You'd be lucky if you could get him to work for you. Take that whichever way you wish. Okay, all right. We're warming up a bit. All right. So I just want to run through quickly defining some terms. I think it's always useful when we're on the same page in terms of what we are talking about. And I will really stick to the theme, actually, and share some thoughts on various aspects of the theme and its relevance for us in our practice at the individual, company, organizational, and even maybe country level. Honorable Minister, sorry, my bad manners. I always say, please permit me to adopt the established protocol as articulated earlier. But Honorable Minister, distinguished PS, other distinguished government officials, good morning again to you all, with apologies for my breach of protocol. Yes. Productivity, I think PS sort of defined it already. We won't get into any heavy definitions on productivity. Efficiency, basically, is productivity, measure of input versus output, how much you put in versus how much you get out of it, whether it's time, resources, etc. Right? So productivity basically speaks to efficiency, output per unit of input, typically measured over a period of time. So we say we're productive if we're able to produce X given Y resources in Z amount of time. Yeah? So it could almost be a calculation. So how productive an endeavor is or a person is in a given period of time with a set number of resources. Yeah? So productivity, and the theme speaks to navigating. Again, we're trying to break it down simply. Navigating is to plan or direct the route or course of, usually it's a vessel, a ship or something, and using instruments or maps, right? So navigating suggests an intentional action, right? And if I could ask you, if you're not navigating, what are you doing perhaps? Let's say you're not the one navigating. What are you doing? Autopilot? What else? Following? Yes. Or we're still adrift, right? So if you're not navigating, which is intentional, deliberate, something that you do to get presumably from point A to point B, if you're not doing that, you're either sitting still, following, or just drifting. None of which I think are necessarily the place or the things we want to not be doing at this time, right? So navigating is instructive in terms of it being in the theme. It is something that we do intentionally. And then disruption, which we already mentioned a bit, sudden significant shifts, changes, technological shifts, economic, geopolitical, climate-related, weather-related, that can significantly impact individuals, organizations, societies. And we heard again from previous speakers, disruption could also have a positive aspect, when it's a technological disruption or disrupting business models, as in the sector that I serve in at the moment, electric utility sector, business models are being disrupted with distributed generation and solar PV, etc. Yeah? So disruption then is not necessarily always a bad thing. Yeah? Disruption could usher in positive consequences. Yeah? So we're navigating through disruption, and then this word of resilience, this was one of the most insightful books I've come across on resilience. It's by Zolli and Healy, Why Things Bounce Back. And they speak about resilience being a concept, but the definition I want to focus on is they define it as the capacity of a system, enterprise, or a person, so at any level, person, individual, enterprise, to maintain its core, oh, I'm looking for you to read with me. Core purpose, yes. Core purpose. And integrity in the face of dramatically changed circumstances. Integrity is the wholeness of, to be whole. Core purpose is tied in with the concept of resilience by definition, to maintain. So my thinking when I was asked to speak on this is, and the theme immediately caught my attention, if resilience is the engine of productivity, then what might be the fuel sources? And again, from the sector that I happen to be in at the moment, right? So if resilience is the engine of productivity, what might be the fuel sources that have to drive that engine? Right? And I want to suggest these three sources of fuel. Purpose, passion, and perseverance. Purpose, passion, and perseverance. So purpose has to come at the center of any endeavor that we undertake, right? In business, in government, what are we in business for? So we craft strategic plans with mission, vision statements that basically articulate our purpose. Our mission statement, our raison d'etre, our reason for being, our vision statement, where do we want to go, all underlines our purpose. Government has a philosophy, philosophies across political parties, philosophy of governance, philosophy of development, and they would articulate from that policies and projects and programs that would underlie a purpose. Yes? A purpose. So the concept of resilience is tied to having a purpose. And what the world needs, what the companies go at, that's a slide that I sometimes use for strategic planning, but very apt here. What is your purpose? What are you coming with then? What's the why then? What's the why? And let me, if I may just say, so for example, when we talk about purpose, most of you in the room are serving in the public sector, and I've heard recently that there might be issues with being called what you are called. That's public servants. And I reflected on it, having been a public servant for many years in and out. Why might there be a difficulty with that notion of being called a public servant? And I think it's possibly because we conflate service with servitude. Given our historical past, we need not go into it, but there probably is a conflation of service with servitude. And one would want to think that service is an honorable thing. Yes? No? Yes? Service is a distinguishing. Service is a privilege. You're privileged to serve. We are privileged to serve. And so unless we conflate it with something that is not, there should be no difficulty. I'm talking purpose still and productivity. So if we are called to be productive and we don't get to the why, the purpose, if we are called to be what we are, let's say public servants, and we don't see the purpose, the higher purpose, the why, then we may have a difficulty and conflate service, for example, with servitude, which is not. Service is the furthest thing from servitude. You do service out of a sense of empowerment, out of a sense of strength. He came not to be ministered unto, but to minister. Service is the highest form of what you could do on this earth, no? Have an impact. Thank you. That's the word, impact. So embrace the concept of being a public servant. It's not demeaning. It should be empowering, energizing. It is an honor to serve. So, purpose is defining what we do, who we are. Purpose, I'm suggesting, is one of the main fuels of resistance, as we saw in the definition, right? To maintain core purpose. So it provides meaningful direction, offering a why to keep going. Intrinsic motivation comes from purpose, emotional stability that's required to be resilient when facing adversity, not when times are good, when times are bad. Emotional resilience to bounce back. And it can act as an anchor, as it were, and a rudder to guide during the storms and navigate through disruption. So first fuel I would suggest that's needed for this engine of resilience for productivity is purpose. And purpose is the reason you journey. Passion is the fire that lights the way. Passion is the fire that lights the way. So purpose guides, passion drives. So if we have a sense of purpose, we also need something to move it even further. So we add into the propellant then to move. So purpose guides, gives us a sense of direction, who we are, why we are doing this. If we are called to serve in an area of humanity, the purpose, but we also need the passion to drive us. Yeah? And then lastly, coming to an end already, perseverance. So purpose, passion, and perseverance. Perseverance is said to be stubbornness with a purpose. So stubbornness alone is not perseverance, right? Sometimes we could be stubborn about something we need to let go, right? If there's no purpose or doesn't serve our higher purpose. Yes? So perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose, to persevere, to persist in anything undertaken, maintain a purpose. See purpose coming there in perseverance, right? Maintain a purpose in spite of difficulty, obstacles, or discouragement. Continue steadfastly. That's perseverance. So there's actually a term that was kind of coined recently called grit. You know the expression when you grit your teeth? Grit your teeth like it's called. Actually, it's a thing, you know. So there's a word called grit. That's the combination of passion and perseverance, the last two fuels, yeah? So passion and perseverance is known as grit, having the courage to push through obstacles because it's worth it. The because it's worth it part speaks to purpose. Purpose. So we are gritting our teeth and persevering because of purpose. Yeah? So this author, Angela Duckworth, popularized the term of grit, the power of passion and perseverance. She did numerous extensive study on this in academia and industry and so on, and really popularized the concept. And she claims that what we eventually accomplish may depend more on our passion and perseverance than our innate talent or intelligence or education or personality or how we look. Grit is the combination of passion and perseverance. So as I close, just again elaborating on the theme, navigating through disruption, resilience, the engine of productivity, I'm asking us in this room and beyond to navigate with purpose. Purpose should guide our journey, our careers. Purpose should guide the journey as we navigate. Disruptions may come and through us, of course. We get those. More than of course sometimes. Shipwrecked even. Resilience, though, is the engine that enables us to bounce back with passion and perseverance. Resilience enables us to bounce back with passion and perseverance. So productivity is almost meaningless, colleagues, without purpose. Productivity is not an end in itself, it's a means to an end, right? We could be very productive but doing the wrong things, right? Yes? Thank you. We could be very, very productive but not getting anywhere of significance, right? As a country or as a professional. It's not only about productivity. Productivity needs to have purpose. So productivity with purpose, be productive on purpose. On purpose. That's a pun if you don't get it. Be productive esprit. Esprit. That's the one meaning of it. But be productive related to your purpose. Because it's intentional. Navigate through disruption with purpose. That's when we need it even more. If we don't have that sense of purpose, we wouldn't get through disruption. We'll be distracted, we'll be deflated, we'll be defeated, because we don't have that sense of purpose. So purpose, passion, and perseverance are the essential fuels I submit to you today for resilience, which is the engine of productivity. So the engine is resilience, the fuels we need even more. Otherwise the engine not taking us anywhere. Yeah? So in closing again, life is a journey. Be the captain of your own ship. There's a saying that if the highest aim of a captain is to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. If the highest aim of the captain was just to preserve the ship, he would keep it in port forever. Play it safe. Just keep it there where it wouldn't get any damage, right? So being the captain of your ship, meaning you navigate, you get the disruption, you get the knocks, you get the setbacks, you get the criticism, you get the failures, you get the bruises and the bumps. And you can be resilient, which is the engine of productivity, if you fuel your ship with passion. I thought you'd say it at one time. You say, I gave you the wrong one first, that's why you didn't repeat it. My bad. With purpose, passion, and... Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So when we thought of this theme, we didn't realize how profound it was. But it is profound based on the featured speaker. Let's give him a round of applause. I think you broke it down so simply that our kids in the room will understand exactly what it means, how you navigate through having this turbulence in your life and still be as resilient as you need to be. And even organizing Productivity Awareness Week has been, a lesson in resilience. There have been so many ups and downs and disturbances that we thought we had to cancel a number of activities. But my resilience kicked in, and I said, no way, we're going to have it, and it's going to be just as successful. And I like passion, purpose, passion, and perseverance. And the fact that grit is so important in order for us to be resilient. So thank you so much for that presentation, for that feature address. A round of applause again for Dr. Burton. Now we have our minister, and I know he's very busy. He told me, Glenn, I'm on holiday. But he had to make it. And we had to sweeten the pot for him to be there, and we added the ancillary infant school, which is dear to his heart. And Minister, they are almost here. Okay? You've been following. So let's invite our Minister, Honorable Wayne Girard, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Youth Economy, to address us. Minister, welcome. And he will also declare our week opened.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance. I see we have the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, Director of NCPC, Director of Budget, Acting Deputy Controller of Inland Revenue, Chairman of the NCPC, members of the Council, the Charles Gachet School, the Accountant General, and I just wanted you to just know, Charles Gachet, what constituency is Charles Gachet? What's the constituency? I was teasing there, by the way. I noticed the brand new instruments. Mine is on the way. Mine is on the way. Mine is on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It is a great honor to address you as we celebrate Productivity Awareness Week 2025. Under the timely theme, Navigating Through Disruption, the Engine of Productivity. This theme could not be more fitting. We live in an era of rapid technological advancement, global economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, the lingering effects of the pandemic, the geopolitical fallout caused by the Ukraine-Russia war, and changes in international trade policy. As a small island developing state, St. Lucia continues to navigate these disruptions. Yet we cannot be immobilized by them. Instead, we must harness disruption as an opportunity to innovate, adjust, and prosper. The government of St. Lucia recognizes that productivity is the lifeblood of national progress. It is not merely about working harder. It is about working smarter, embracing efficiency, creativity, and resilience in every sector of our economy. In a world of constant change, productivity enables our people and our businesses to adapt, innovate, and remain competitive despite external shocks. By sharpening our productive capacity, we can turn challenges into opportunities for growth and transformation. In this regard, the government has supported the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, the NCPC, in driving reforms that create a modern, enabling environment for businesses. Notably, we have approved key pieces of legislation, including the Insolvency Act, the Security Interest in Movable Property Act, and the establishment of a collateral registry. These reforms strengthen our business climate by making it easier for entrepreneurs to access financing, protecting both creditors and debtors, and ensuring that businesses can exit the market in an orderly manner. Together, they improve the ease of doing business and sustain economic dynamism, even in times of disruption. Beyond legislation, we are also taking deliberate steps to enhance service delivery within the public sector. An officer has been designated within the Office of the Prime Minister to lead efforts to improve customer service. This initiative is critical because productivity is not confined to the private sector. It is equally about efficiency, responsiveness, and accountability in our public institutions. Our productivity agenda also focuses on creating opportunities for the future. The Youth Economy Program is one such initiative. By empowering young St. Lucians with resources, mentorship, and the tools to turn creativity into enterprise, we are nurturing innovation and planting the seeds for sustained productivity growth. At the same time, the government continues to provide grants and technical support to small and medium-sized enterprises through the Ministry of Commerce. SMEs are the backbone of our economy, generating employment, driving grassroots innovation, and strengthening community resilience. Our goal is to ensure that they have the tools, financing, and policy support necessary to withstand external shocks and remain competitive. We also established a task force on tariffs to review and address trade tariff concerns. This initiative aligns perfectly with this year's theme because trade disruptions can directly erode competitiveness and productivity. By ensuring that tariffs are fair, transparent, and strategically applied, the government aims to enhance our ability to trade effectively, protect local industries, and foster a more productive economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of St. Lucia is one of resilience. We have weathered hurricanes, global financial crises, pandemics, and shifts in international markets. Through it all, we have learned that productivity is our engine for progress. It drives adaptation, innovation, and competitiveness, even when the seas are rough. As St. Lucia continues to chart its course through global challenges and disruptions, I encourage every citizen, every entrepreneur, every public officer, and every community leader to remain innovative, resilient, and productive. Together, we can ensure that St. Lucia maintains strong and meaningful presence in an ever-changing global environment. Today's observance reminds us that productivity is not simply an economic measure. It is a mindset, a way of thinking and working that determines how we respond to the challenges and opportunities before us. And so, with great optimism and confidence, it gives me great pleasure to officially declare Productivity Awareness 2025 open. I wish you all a productive, engaging, and inspiring week of activities. Now, whilst I was standing here, the school of the hour, of the moment, sorry, Bishop Charles Gachet has arrived. So I ask you to sit back and enjoy the talent of the constituency of Anseri-Canris. Thank you very much.
So thank you. Let's give the minister a round of applause. Thank you for that and for declaring the week open. So he is also an MC on the side. He's just taken my role from me. So when we talk about navigating through resilience, we really mean that you have to make sure that whatever the end game is and your end goal, you work towards it. And you don't allow things to disturb it. And that's why resilience is so important, because some people give up before they get to the end. But you need to persevere. I actually have one of our walkers in here from the Barbados Challenge Fun Walk, and she completed, and she's here this morning through the pain, working hard, making sure that she could have gotten through this. And a bit of resilience is the ancillary infant school. They got a disappointment, and the tutor told me, Glenn, I will not disappoint you. We've worked too hard, and we're going to get here. So I invite the ancillary infant school up as they present to us the presentations, and I will allow you to be surprised. As the minister said, sit back and relax. So, Tisha, are you ready? So you want them to start lining up? So I had jokes on productivity, but I think it's not the time to give it. He's downstairs. So I invite the school to come up, allow for them, give them a round of applause as they come up, and you will see that they've kept within the Creole theme. And you will look into the cute faces, and all you have to do is say, ah. So if you've never just arrived at an event and been told it's your turn to perform, this is a real testament to how resilient you are. And so let's give them a round of applause and encourage them as they come up. Don't mind their shyness, they are explosive. And let's give a round of applause to their tutor, Miss Martina. She worked so hard. And we invite the drummer up on the top, and you position your chair wherever you need it. So we challenged the school to present something to us based on our theme. And they have also going to give us a Creole rendition, but they're going to do something specially for us on our theme, a creative piece. And if you've never heard the Ancillary School, they specialize in creating themes, and the students are very good at memorizing. I'm not sure how Teacher Martina makes them memorize so quickly, but that's one of the reasons why we wanted them here, and for you to be presented with their talent. And it was one of the ways that you cast our net out and caught the minister. So the minister is truly here because he really feels passionate about his community and about those students. You still waiting for the person?
Well, our first piece is not part of the first piece.
Okay.
So we will send out first piece and then we will join.
Do you want to introduce it?
It's based on the theme. Let me just adopt the protocol that has already been established. The difficulties in our path will not defeat our ambition. And I'm saying this because this morning we have really encountered many challenges. The teacher is sick, our bus driver is unwell, so we were confronted with many challenges this morning. But we are here nonetheless, and our motto says, the difficulties in our path will not defeat our ambition. So we're here, and we are going to make it great, and we are going to enjoy this morning, okay? All right. So what's the title of our first piece? Infants, are you ready? Yes! Infants, are you ready? Yes! La voix est super way! Yes! La voix est super way! Way! Marguerite est super way! Way! Marguerite est super way! Way! La voix est super way! Way! Okay. So we're not starting our Creole pieces yet, so we're starting Building a Resilient Nation. That's in the title.
Building a Resilient Nation.
Again.
Building a Resilient Nation.
I need to see the answer energy. Our minister is here. Okay? Let us put that energy out. Are you ready?
Yes!
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Title.
Building a Resilient Nation.
When the road is rough and plans go wrong,
we find a way and still stay strong.
when storms arise and skies turn gray,
We bend, we learn, we find our way.
with every step
matin, Madame Laos parle avec nous bon matin. Nous, en qui nous tient créole, vous savez ça? Tout ça, nous, en moi créole? Est-ce que ça, nous, en moi créole? Est-ce que vous pouvez pour parler créole? Vous pouvez pour parler créole? C'est langue maman nous. Et nous, nous pour apprendre. So, si vous ni un monde qui a 6 balles, qui va connaître créole, dit, comment c'est aujourd'hui? Dis-moi ça. Comment c'est aujourd'hui? Dis-moi ça. Comment c'est? Est-ce que tu vas parler créole? So, I'm just saying, tell them that you need to learn something new today. One more high five, one more high five. One more, now listen, now listen, now listen. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Come for me, parce que il croise des fois, il just cavé, moi, like, moi, il bon, Dieu, là, moi, il sait pas quoi qu'on a rien. Mais, listen, what's up, that man choose wrong now, for my okay. So, pour matin, habitant l'école, nous, l'école fermée, nous avons fermé, nous avons souhaité faire la was, bon, l'école fermée. Bon, si l'école est là, oui, ça nous a fait. Nous voulons ces moments là expérimenter qui ça la was et puis qui ça Margueritier. So nous toujours qu'à faire un banc ça c'est famille. Vous comprenez ça ça y est nous qu'à faire un banc côté la was et Marguerite garder qui est qui plus belle fait. So pour matin nous qu'à présenter et puis ça. So maman et Marguerite venez ici là. Tournez là. So the our children on the other hand. You know your position? Between. Move up, medicine. Very stupid. Can you just shift? Thank you. Children pour espérer bail qui bon hein c'est ça nous qu'a fait là nous les bail là bon nous pour espérer nous espérer bon bail bon matin. OK.
So when we say that this is truly an important theme and a useful theme, they are determined to put on their presentation. And let's give a round of applause to the teacher for improvising and making sure that everything happened bang on time.
Est-ce ou pas ouais? Est-ce ou pas ouais? Bon matin nous pas ou kay di nous qui fleur, qui plus belle fleur. Parce que bon matin, ma pe comprendre, Jean la Rose c'est fête Marguerite fini. Marguerite, c'est à présent. Qui manière la Rose, car ça y a fait ici aujourd'hui. Ça pas fait droit, bah y a un monde en chance. Ou pas regarder, regardez-moi de joli. C'est fête Marguerite, c'est fête Marguerite aujourd'hui. Qui manière c'est monter la Rose? Où est ma couchette? Est-ce où est ma couchette? Où ma couchette là? Montez-moi. Comment tu c'est ma couchette là? Quoi ma couchette quand yo ye? Où est ma couchette? Où est ma couchette? Non, non, non. Nous c'est la Rose. Elle est jolie. Nous n'y coulons rose. Ça c'est à représenter l'amour. C'est ça. Yo quoi yon pli l'amour passé nous? Pas nous ça. Pas coûter madame c'est tout c'est ma couchette ça. Nous c'est millionnaire ça nous y millionnaire. Maman Marguerite c'est millionnaire. Maman Marguerite c'est millionnaire. On dit ça. Ani chez yo. Qui ça? Fête Marguerite. Qui ça? Fleur Marguerite. Nous c'est royalty tout les vins de notre ni l'amour. Nous ni l'argent nous millionnaires. On commence en bayoy. Qui ça on commence? Vous préparez? Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite encore!
Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite toujours!
Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Rose!
Vive la Rose!
Vive la Rose toujours!
Vive la Rose!
Vive la Rose!
Vive la Rose!
Bonjour, nous parlons. Nous allons faire premier chanson.
Sweet Marguerite, Marguerite is the best of all flowers.
Let's show them what you made of children. And move to
Marguerite, Marguerite is the best of all. Marguerite, sweet Marguerite, Marguerite is the best of all flowers. Marguerite, sweet Marguerite, Marguerite is the best of all.
Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite encore! Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite toujours! Vive la Marguerite!
Regarde, c'est qui ça fait bon aujourd'hui.
This is the beauty. This is the beauty of love. This is the beauty. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of love. Our queen, she was sick, while God said she would die. This is the beauty of love. She once met on the road and she opened her eyes. This is the beauty of rose. This is the beauty. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of rose. This is the beauty. This is the beauty. This is the beauty
vive la rose, pour la rose, yo, eh. Ou kay wele nou fini et pour aujourd'hui, ya. Ou kay sa, ou kay stop, ou kay tourner Marguerite Thaler, pas peur. Ou pas, ouais? Call out.
Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite encore! Vive la Marguerite!
Encore.
Vive la Marguerite toujours! Vive la Marguerite!
I was Milano. Faites la rose avancée, on t'a club, l'an fini. Là, nous finissons de dire, quelqu'un connaît qui ça me dit. Ok. On parle? Oui. Ok, nous allons dire, oh la, ma vie. Nous allons change, puis ça nous fait. I am a rose, very under the rose. Nous finissons pour vous. On parle, vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite!
Come on.
Vive la Marguerite!
Vive la Marguerite! Vive la Marguerite toujours!
Vive la
And commence, hola, hola, hola Marguerite!
Hola, hola, hola Marguerite!
What is it? show. Hop Kanye, I mean, no millionaire. Me, no millionaire. Chibisa. Nous pas faire autre chose réellement. Vini. Glen Vini, nous n'a tellement ba yo ban. Yo bouzé. What power? Ba yo Glen. Yo moi do yo kay fin clap ba la wa zodi a Glen ba yo. Glen allez ça pas ça touche nous pas ba ça allez là. What commence nous c'est millionnaire. What power? Nous les dernières histoires pour Bayo. Et moi, vous messieurs, ça a chemise rouge là. Moi, je vais pas moi, je vais messieurs, enchanté. Tout le monde commence à chanter messieurs, comme tu. So, il va vous chanter. Ou c'est Rose, ou c'est la 11. Nous allons finir pour tout ça dans la douche. Commission ça, c'est pas où, messieurs, ça. On commence. Là, tu vas y aller, une fille là qui va y aller.
La was panidite, yo kon relege. Poude yo ka fe lo right, mese mi bagay. La was panidite, yo kon relege. Poude yo ka fe lo right, mese mi bagay. La was panidite, yo kon relege. Poude yo ka fe lo right, mese mi bagay. La was panidite, yo kon relege. Poude yo ka fe lo right, mese mi bagay. La was panidite, yo kon relege. Poude yo was validité, yo encore validité.
Où est-ce que nous voulons? Yo vin join nous, où est-ce que? Yo vin join nous.
Yo encore validité, yo café no way.
Laissez vivre.
La was validité, yo encore validité. Voulez yo café no way.
Laissez vivre. La was validité.
Yo encore validité.
Voulez yo café no way. Laissez vivre. La was validité. Yo encore validité. Voulez yo café no way. Laissez vivre.
Quantos validité,
Yo encore validité. Voulez yo café no way. Laissez vivre. So si, Margaret gen, Misia, chanje mwen don de gavin pou. Yo jouni paske yo fin. Yo paten invite pou nou eme yo chay. Nou sorti anslawe, so nou atchonman nou ka vini ansam. Paske nou eme poche nou. Nou ka vini ansam kon Ancillary House Infant School. Nou ka force ap kon nou kote nou sot. Nou ka wede yon alot. Atchonman nou wè la wize. Yo paten invite de, yo paten dejne. So nou yo vini ansam. Et nou ka fe Ancillary House Infant School ko tout moun ka vini ansam. C'est ma message là. Allez. Mamãe contou sozinho,
mas sozinha sabe.
mamãe contou sozinho.
Mas sozinha sabe.
Oh,
Sabe. Mas sozinha sabe.
sabe.
Mas sozinha sabe.
Oh, sabe.
Mas sozinha sabe.
Mamãe que mundo é,
Não seja sabe.
mamãe que mundo é.
Não seja sabe. Sabe.
Não seja
Sabe. Sabe. Não seja sabe. Não seja sabe.
não seja sabe. Mamãe contou sozinho. Mamãe contou sozinho. Mamãe que mundo é. Bon, ministre, nous va faire un petit peu de ça. Ouais, nous sommes gens là, ouais. Et nous savons où enjoy.
Okay. Let's have a bigger round of applause for Ancillary Infant. And let's give the teacher a rousing round of applause. You can see they prepared and they navigated through disruption. And they delivered wonderfully. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very well. So, we don't want to keep you much longer, but we just now going to have the closing remarks for you as we bring the closing of the launch of Productivity Awareness Week to an end. And we call on our Deputy Director, NCPC, and she's, well, it's NCPC, but we're the NCPU. Ms. Sharma Mathre, give her a round of applause as she does the closing remarks for us.
Good morning, everyone. The launch of Productivity Awareness Week 2025 marks not just the beginning of an observance, but the continuation of a national commitment to excellence, innovation, and growth. Before we step boldly into the week ahead, it is only right that we take a moment to express a heartfelt gratitude to everyone who helped set this powerful stage. As we close the successful launch of Productivity Awareness Week 2025, I am truly honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee. First and foremost, we extend heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Wayne Girard, Minister within the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Youth Economy, for officially declaring Productivity Awareness Week 2025 open. Your inspiring words have set the perfect tone for the days ahead. We are also grateful to our Permanent Secretary, Mr. Francis Fontenelle, whose steadfast support continues to strengthen the work of the NCPC. A special thank you goes to the keynote speaker, Dr. Cletus Burton. He was also a past NCPC board member, and he is the Executive Director of the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation, CARELEC. Your thought-provoking address truly brought this year's theme to life and inspired us all. We also recognize Mr. Nicholas Bernard, Chair of the NCPC, and the board for their invaluable guidance and unwavering commitment to advancing the Council's work, including this important observance. To our Director, Mrs. Lisa Flora Montoot, we thank you for your exceptional leadership and tireless dedication in ensuring the success of Productivity Awareness Week. Our gratitude also extends to the Chair of the Planning Committee, Mr. Glenn Simon. Your leadership and encouragement were instrumental in bringing this launch to fruition and in motivating the team to the finish line. I must also highlight the remarkable efforts of the Planning Committee, Ms. Cornelia Jean-Baptiste, and Ms. Suan Fletcher of the St. Lucia Employers Federation, also Ms. Stanza Delaney of the Department of Economic Development for their dedication in organizing the discussion on our road communication network despite many challenges. Also, thank you to the Chief Economist, Mrs. Charlene Louise Regis, within the Department of Economic Development, and the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Paul Hilaire, for granting Ms. Delaney the time off to coordinate this activity. Ms. Jennifer Raphael of the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Natalie Jolie Fannis, and Ms. Lorena Jacob of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College for your steadfast efforts in coordinating the debate competition. Ms. Petriana Daniel of the NCPC, along with Mrs. Tavina Mathre Andrew, Mrs. Ghislaine Clary King, Ms. Yasmin Alfred, and the Research and Policy Unit for your outstanding work in staging this year's Research Symposium. For the first time, we welcome the Ministry of External Affairs for Productivity Awareness Week, and we thank Ms. Nadella Noel and Mr. Kinsey Brown for bringing fresh energy and enthusiasm to the planning team. Ms. Resigna Matthew McCoverick from the Office of the Prime Minister, and Ms. Suan Emmanuel from the Ministry of the Public Service for your dedication to our culminating activity on customer service in the public sector. Mrs. Olivia Henry Alfred and Ms. Arja Payne, thank you for being our dependable Make It Happen crew. Ms. Nasha Martin Mooney and Mrs. Ella Charles, though recent additions to the NCPC, have already made a significant impact on this year's planning and delivery. Thank you for being great team players, and we welcome you to an exciting journey at the NCPC. Mrs. Fiona Hinkson, Budget Director and former Director of the NCPC, we deeply appreciate your steadfast support for the programs of the NCPC. We must also applaud our talented schools, the ancillary Infant School and the Bishop Charles Gachet Primary School. Let's give them a round of applause. Our future looks bright. For delighting us with their musical performances, your participation made this launch even more memorable. Special thank you to Mr. Kimbert Evans for opening our proceedings with blessings, and to Ms. Stacy Duncan and the IT team for expertly managing the technical and logistical arrangements. We also extend gratitude to the many ministries, schools, private sector organizations, and individuals who are participating in this year's observance. Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights as we explore key issues over the course of this week. To our sponsors of the debate competition, the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, Republic Bank, and St. Lucia Linens, your generous support reflects your commitment to the work of the NCPC, and we are sincerely grateful. We also thank our media partners, especially the National Television Network, NTN, for broadcasting today's event and amplifying our message. Finally, we acknowledge with appreciation the many hands working behind the scenes, drivers, caterers, decor teams, technicians, service providers, our colleagues whose efforts ensured today's success. To all our special guests from both the public and private sectors, thank you for your presence. Your participation underscores the importance of collaboration in advancing national productivity. As we embark on this exciting week of activities, I encourage everyone to remain engaged, join the conversations on NTN, Facebook, and YouTube, and be inspired by the powerful messages that will be shared throughout Productivity Awareness Week 2025. Together, let us continue navigating disruption with resilience as the true engine of productivity. I thank you all, and I wish you a productive week ahead.
So it leaves me now to thank Shama for presenting our vote of thanks and for all what you do at the NCPC, because it is a real team effort to get this activity going. And as she outlined the number of persons that we were grateful to and we had to thank, this is a lot of work. And just to have a panel discussion, just a simple panel discussion to discuss issues, it takes quite a bit of work. And we're hoping that each of you could be present, and those of you who are not here could actually come in and join and get in on the discussions. We're not discussing problems, we're discussing how we move forward and offering solutions. So this is what the week is all about. So it leaves me now to thank everyone for coming. Thank you so much for being part of the official launch, and we invite you to each activity for Productivity Awareness Week. Look at us on our Facebook page, St. Lucia NCPC, on Facebook and on YouTube, and also view us on NTN. But most importantly, you could come in and join in the discussions. Thanks again, and have a productive rest of your day and week.